Welcome back to Tom's Garage again, boys and girls. Good morning. Yeah, it's almost 2 o'clock, so. Well, Pow, Little Murray, 42 inch with 18 horse. He was bringing it over on the trailer, and when he got out of his truck, he realized his seat blew off. So we had to unload it, and he had to take off and go look for it. Hope he found it. That would be uncomfortable. He said this thing started running real bad. Let's get it up in the air. He said it started running real rough and everything, and he said he changed the coil, and now he says it won't crank at all. That thing's got a drip. Oh, look at it! Look at that. Well, that's probably your problem. Look at there. Yeah. It's silly, no, it ain't even tight. Yeah. Well, let's tighten that down and see what we got here. I think it's a 12 millimeter. 12 millimeter. There we go. There we go. That thing just, I didn't even realize it was sitting there dripping. Well, maybe that was the problem. It was just running out of gas. Because all his gas was running out. You reckon? Do you reckon? Okay. Let's check his oil. Looks like he's got a pretty good oil leak right here. Looks like a valve cover's leaking. Looks like it's leaking pretty good. Fix that for him. I'll tell you, I've done a lot of valve cover gaskets lately for some reason. This valve cover gasket season. And we are right on the ad. Okay. Yeah, he said he changed the ignition coil, so what I'm gonna do is check his work. Well, I just noticed that. What's going on with that? That's not even tight. Huh. The other one's loose too. Okay. Well, there's all kinds of little surprises already. Yeah, look at there. Air filter don't look bad. Blow it out real good. Well, let's pop this cover off and check his work. Okay. Let's see, we'll go ahead and get these screws out of there. Pop this cover off and see what he was talking about with that coil. Well, I got that one off. Let's walk around here and get this other one off. Let me hit pause. I got a customer just pulled in here. Hang on loose. All right. Well, I dropped that one too. Where did it go? There it is. Wow. Okay. Moving on around here. Let's get these two front ones taken off. right. Sit this somewhere out of the way. Woo! Boy, it's raining again. Yeah. Is it ever going to stop? Looks like he cleaned the flywheel real good. I'll make sure he's got that gap just right. Looks like he does. Grab my business card, pickle gauge. Pretty good. Pretty good. Make sure it's nice and tight. Yep. Okay. That looks good. Plenty of fuel in it. Let's test it for spark. He's got the kill wire plugged in. That's good. Good. Let's grab my spark tester. Sparky tester. We'll go around here and test it for spark. That thing's all loose. I bet that thing rattles. Makes a heck of a noise. Don't know where that bolt's to. Well, it's going to be impossible to test. Can't use a tester on that. Just use this other tester. All right. We'll use this one. Okay, let's see. Make sure the parking brake is set. Parking brake is set. Legs are disengaged. Okay. Nothing. I have nothing. I'm about to put something heavy in that seat right there, I'm afraid. Thank goodness nothing. Let's test the battery. Golly, I'm running out of room in here. I'm gonna lower the table a little bit. I went up to the shed and found him a seat in case he can't find his. Dead battery. Dead battery. Dead battery. So now I'm going to get the battery charger out and hook it up. Alright, let me hit pause. Let me get the battery charger out and get it hooked up. Well, I had to stop and slam the door. Water was rushing in here so hard, I guess from the neighbor's house next door. It's a little higher elevation. Here it comes again. Let me slam this door. Here Look at that, man. All this water rushed in. It's got to be a 1/4 inch deep over here. Whew. Let me hit it with a wet vac. Yeah. Well, this is what we'll be doing for the next half hour. Y'all hang with. I think it's just past us. Man, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm tired of the rain this spring. Good Lord. I had to get the 5-gallon wet vac out. I think I got most of it. Still pretty wet, but whew. Man, look at that. Ew. That was a good one. That was a good storm there, buddy. Maybe it'll leave us alone. You know, if it wasn't for all this equipment in here, man, I could just get my street broom and just sweep it out. It has to rain really, really, really hard to do that. Look at all the dirt and everything that's washed down here from up there. We're gonna get back on this tractor. I got this thing, it's been on a 10-amp charge for about 30 minutes now. All I want to do is just enough to see if we've got spark. So y'all hang with. Well, at least that storm cooled it down a little bit. Okay. I got that charger jumped up to 50 amp. Let's see if we've got spark. Watch real close. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now we turn this thing back down. Put it back on 2. Let it trickle overnight. Okay, so far we tightened the fuel solenoid. The coil checks out good. Gap is good, nice and tight. And one thing I did notice, I don't know how well you can see that. His blades are upside down. Both of them are upside down. They're not bent yet. I'm glad I caught it. Okay. We're gonna see overnight if that battery charges, if it holds a charge. All right, y'all hang with, we'll move on. All right, I got the cover back on. I went ahead and replaced the spark plug. I think this one was fouled, that's a HIPAA. Anyway, RC12YC. So I'll put a new spark plug in there and let's see what we got here. Hopefully that battery's taking a charge. Give it a chokey chokey. Well, it is running very, very poorly. It's almost like the choke is stuck, but it's not. Oh, I thought the camera about fell over. This thing's got a heck of an oil leak on the valve cover gasket. So what we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and pull this hood off and get this valve cover off. We're going to fix that anyway. I'm going to check the valve clearance and see what that looks like. Put a new valve cover gasket on there. Let's get this hood off. Ugh. Just 2 bolts right there on each, just 1 bolt on each side. Oh, let's see. Let's see, we have a 1/2 inch socket and a 9/16 end wrench. shoulder bolts. Shoulder bolts. All right. The headlights are already unhooked because look, here's the headlight wires. And there's a positive. That thing there's going to ground out to something. So that's not good. We got to fix that. I need to call that fella and ask him if he found his seat. If not, I can make that one over there work. I'll just unplug that and give it back to him. He can do whatever he wants with it. We'll take and zip tie that somewhere. But anyway, that's not what I'm worried about right now. We'll just stick that right there. All right, let's get this thing raised up. Put it on jack stands, let the oil be settling, and we'll turn his blades right side up like they're supposed to be. I think that's heavy enough. Not a good place to grab it. Find a good place to hook this thing. Let me undo the parking brake. Okay. That's strong enough right there. We'll see. All right, let's grab a couple of jack stands. It may well be in that Nicky carburetor too. Oop, let me hit pause. I got a customer pulling in. Hang with. All right. Go ahead and get this spark plug out of here. That valve cover off. Get the valves checked. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that carburetor is going to be the cause of the problems here, but I want to got to fix this anyway, so let's check the valve clearance. I want to check his push rods. Yeah, look how crumbly this gasket is. Yeah, that's old. This thing is a, well, somebody had the gasket up there. Or did I just do that? 2002. 23 years old. Years old. Okay, exhaust valve opens. Pulley sharp. And then the intake valve opens. Then we should be at top dead center right there on the compression stroke. Right. Right there. Yeah, this thing was, I believe this thing's flooding, is what it is. That's why it runs so rough. Let's see here. Put it at 4 thousandths. That's right at 4 thousandths. 55. That was real loose. All right, let's see. Well, I forget what that was. Was that a 10 millimeter or was that a, what was that? That's 10 millimeter. And I believe that's going to be a Torx. Is it a 15? I believe it is. It's a little on the tight side. And go right about there. Hold that still. It's a little on the loose side. Still a little on the loose side. There we go. That's some decent drag. Let me tighten that one just a little bit. There we go. All right. Is it me or that thing wiggle? That made me lose my balance. Soak up a little bit, whatever that oil's left there. Whatever's left over here, it just runs back down into the crankcase. It always seems to puddle right in here. Okay. Let's peel this gasket off here. Crumbly, crumbly gasket. All right. Now we'll go over to the parts washer. Parts washer. The poor old handle broke off my parts washer brush. It's alright, it still works. Bring a rag over here. All right, let's wash it up now. Rinse, rinse, rinse. All right. Okay, let's see. Let me grab my hood. All right. All right, grab my spray. Just a little discolored. $72475. Get low on these now. Oh, that's the third valve cover gasket I've done this week. Make sure you don't get this upside down. You won't be able to see the numbers. You gotta be able to see the numbers. Don't know exactly what the torque specs is on this. Just this valve cover. Just get it kind of tight, but be very careful because you will snap these bolts off. I've done it myself. Okay. Put the spark plug back in there. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do a compression. I haven't done a compression test yet. Let's do a compression test. Use my trusty old Sun tune. This thing is way older than I am. This is like a 60s model. Find the hole. Okay, let's kick it over. See what we got. Set the parking brake back. Got over 95 pounds. That's decent. That's pretty good for a 23-year-old motor. I'm gonna do a leak down test too. Let's do that. I should have done that first. Now we've got to find top dead center again. Okay. I don't know if that's compression stroke or we got to go all the way around again. We'll find out. Turn that fan off. We got to be able to hear it leaking. Oh, Lordy Lord. moderate, which is expected. Let's go 360 degrees with this thing. Make sure it was on the compression stroke. Alright, we're at top dead center again. This may not be the compression stroke. If it's not, we're going to know, because it's just going to blow out the air hose. Okay, we are set to 0. Oh yeah, we're not on the compression stroke. Intake valve's open. This is in that transition where it's closing the exhaust and opening the intake. Okay. Good enough. Good enough. Got that on Amazon. Part number ABN2305. Auto Body Now. They got all kinds of these things on Amazon. You don't have to get that particular brand. Well, let's fire it up, see if she runs any better. I doubt it. We're going to have to replace that carburetor. That Nicky carburetor. Nicky carburetor. Oh, that thing's still missing real bad. That's got to be that carburetor. Got to be. Let's pull this cover back off. I want to pull that carburetor off. We're going to see what kind of shape just to look inside that thing. Yeah. I want to see what condition that bowl and everything is in. Make sure that shut-off valve is shutting off. Let me lower the table a little bit. Golly, I'm having to reach way up. Here we go. Ain't that tall. I can get my fingers around it. You don't have to take them all the way out. That fella brought me his pressure washer earlier. Said it wasn't running good. I got it running good. He come to get it. When you crank it up and turn the water hose on, all that water just blows right into the soap tank and just blew the top right off the soap tank. He's like, well, it's always done that since it was new. Like, you gotta be kidding. So I took the fitting off the pump where the hose goes from the soap tank to the fitting. You've got a little spring-loaded little ball in there. It was missing the spring from the factory. I've never seen it do that. So all that pressure was going right into the soap tank. Weird. Okay. Put it back off. Blue doo 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 doo. Blue doo 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 doo. Let's see, we will need a 15, 5/16 and 3 or 7/16. Unhook the crankcase vent hose. Well, that probably loosened when I pulled his nuts off. I pulled his nuts off. I want to check the throttle plate. No, it's on there. All right. All right. Nicky carburetor. Ugh. Ugh. All right. Dribble, dribble. Grab my favorite carburetor tank pan. Yay! I looked inside that fuel tank too, man. That thing is spotlessly clean. There's no obstructions in the pickup. That Angelica's blower. And what we have here is an aftermarket Amazon carburetor. That's exactly what that is. I'll go to HIPAA and get a Walboro equivalent. 594605 is what the part number for that Walboro style is. I want to see that main jet in there. If we can get this thing unscrewed. There we go. But it runs just like its own choke. Wow. I do not like these carburetors. Yeah. And the main jet fell out, of course. Where did it go? It's missing. Was it missing to begin with? Because it certainly ain't laying here. That's why it was flooding. That's why it was flooding, because it didn't have a main jet in it. I don't see it laying in the floor. I'm about to go back and watch this video when I pull this thing apart. That's why it was flooding. I wonder if they shipped it without the main jet. That's crazy. That's why it's running so rough. Huh. Okay. Y'all saw it. That's why it was running so rough. It don't have a main jet. I don't see it laying around on the table. Because when I look down there to begin with, I can see the top of that backfire valve, just like that. It was missing. Okay. Okay. Let's hit pause. Let's get ourselves a carburetor. 594-605. Y'all hang with. Well, I was going to dig through my boxes of old carburetors. I was going to take another jet out of one of those Nickies in that box, and I found this one. I pulled this one apart. Look at the fuel inlet. Huh. That's probably all that was wrong with this one. I'm gonna clean this one and put this one on there. That's an actual Nicki brand. That's not an aftermarket. Other than that, it looks clean. Mm-hmm. If I can hang on to it. Look at that, man. That thing is completely clogged. Now it's not. All right. Let's make sure this solenoid's working. Yep, that'll work. Ow. Want to make double sure that O-ring goes in all the way. All the way. If not, it'll leak. Can't have it. Looks pretty good. A little snuggling. Coming out real good over there. All right, let's go stick this one on. See if she runs any better with this one. Uh-huh. Put the little spring on there. Raise the camera a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Spring wrapped around the throttle shaft. It's always kind of aggravating getting this thing on there. Okay. Get your little gasket. That's good. What's that noise? All right, give that a minute to fill. Give it a minute to fill. Ooh. Manny, well that fills. All right. You should have had time to fill the bowl by now. Well, she runs healthy now. Yeah. All right. Now we'll get it put back together. Flip his blades over like they're supposed to be. And by golly, we'll be done with this thing. Y'all hang with. All right, slap her back together. Slap her back together. Easy. Don't forget to hook up the crankcase vent tube. Right there. All right. All right, where to move the cover? Let's see, we'll go on this side over here. Make doubly sure when you put this back on. This fin right here goes right through here. And make sure this goes on the outside of that. If you put it in there like that, you'll bust all the fins off the flywheel. Ask me how I know. Oh, you gotta get your head down in there to look. There we go, that's perfect. Sometimes I'll put a little grease or oil around that O-ring right there. Right. That on there. Wow. These back on there. before I tighten those. We'll get this one back on there. Come over here and blow his air filter out for him. With Angelica's blower. That fan right there is just sucking it in and blowing it all over the shop. Get it, birdie. All right. Engine's back together. Adjusted the valve, valve cover gasket, spark plug, carburetor. Checked his coil installation, which was pretty good. I'd hire him. All right, let's raise this thing up and get the blades flopped over. Ooh, it's a wonder he didn't bend them blades. What size is that little nut? Is it 13/16? It is not. Is it a 15/16? It is not. Is it a 7/8? It is. You have these blades upside down spinning that way. And look how clean it is. You got to flip it over for the cutting edge. How did all that come off there? Let's see, the little spacer goes on there, bearing cover. Blades on there next. Make sure that goes around that little thing there. Then you got your washer, cupped washer. That nut out of there. You got that little spacer there, I don't know what that's for. Get the nut started. Same thing on the other side. Oh, he's got a piece of wire or something wrapped around that blade spindle. Yep, piece of wire. Looks like he hit somebody's ground wire for their, where the cable TV comes in. Either that or the ground wire for something, I don't know. All right, let's get this blade flipped over. Flip. Whew. Okay, I'm going to engage his blade. I'm going to check. It looks to me like that spindle brake ain't pulling far away. Yeah, it is. I can tell. It just didn't look like it. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. Back over here. I'm gonna put some air in his tires. That was flat. About 15. What about 10? Over here and do the same thing. Yeah, this one's flat too. How about that? Exactly 3.2 pounds. All right, right at 10. Okay. Yeah, the blades, they were pretty new. Ain't never been used. That's why I didn't bother sharpening them. They've always been upside down. I bet that was a horrible cut. That one's got 15, almost 16. Oh, that's good. If you don't have these tires pumped all the way up, you're way more likely to scrape that deck on that table. That's why I always make sure I have the tires pumped up. There. Alrighty. Alrighty. We'll crank it up and see how she runs. Still runs good. That's a loud little lawnmower, isn't it? It's got that straight pipe over there. Good Lord. Let's find somewhere to put this. I want to tuck these wires somewhere. Right there. Probably not riding well. Get a zip tie. I want a zip tie that somewhere. I don't want to fall down there and get that transmission out. Do. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. Just gotta hang out back here. Okay, let's wrestle this hood back on there. Wrestle that hood back on there. Grab me a socket. And 9/16. Where'd the hood go? What do I do with the hardware? Okay. Make sure the hood works. Well, that is one heavy hood right there. Yeah. Well, hi boys and girls, thanks for watching another Tom Doopy video. I got a customer pulled in. Little Murray got her running good again. Bad Nicky aftermarket carburetor. I got to call him, see if he wants that seat right there. I found one in the shed. I got to make it fit if he didn't find his other one. Be good, holler if you need me. Eat your vegetables and take your vitamins, and say something positive for today. And by golly, we'll catch y'all on the next one, man. I love you.